What if I told you the woman who could have charged the Prime Minister was quietly removed and no one said why? By the end of this video, you will see why this isn't just politics. This is power, protection, and punishment. Hey patriotic internet friends and family, welcome back to the breakdown, Jamaica's #1 political hot seat, where we sip tea, spill truth, and decode the madness. Today we're diving into the mysterious non-renewal of Keisha Prince-Kameka Integrity Commission contract, the woman who once stood at the center of Jamaica's biggest corruption investigation, involving none other than Prime Minister Andrew Holness. But did she step down? Was she forced out? Or worse, was she punished for doing her job too well? Buckle up, because this one is layered like bad kalaloo. Let's break it down. Now, picture this. Let's set the stage. The Integrity Commission, Jamaica's watchdog for corruption, was meant to be our superhero team, investigating shady deals, chasing down missing millions, and making sure big men in big positions don't get away with big foolishness. At the heart of that operation, Keisha Prince-Kameka, the Director of Corruption Prosecution. Think of her as the one person who could legally clap back at politicians behaving badly. She had the authority to recommend charges against anyone, even the Prime Minister. So what happened? Well, March 2025, Prince-Kameka's contract ended. Normal, sure, but here's the plot twist. She was never told why her contract wasn't renewed. But wait, there's more. The commission didn't just let her ride off into the sunset. They met with her on March 13 to say goodbye, wrote to the Governor General immediately, telling him she would not be recommended for reappointment. Then, while she was still employed, they posted a job ad for her job. Now, I don't know about you, but when HR is hiring someone for your position, before you even pack your mug off the desk, something right. Was Prince-Kameka trying to protect democracy or protect the PM? Let's not whisper, let's reason. Your answer might just be the real story here. So put it in the comments. What are they saying? Here's where it gets really murky. Sources say she may have paid the price for choosing not to bring charges against Andrew Holness in two separate matters. Not one, but two separate matters. Yes, that Holness, our Prime Minister, the big one, his uncertified statutory declarations. You know, those pesky little things public officials are supposed to file to show they're not hiding money under their mattress. So was this 1, her playing it safe and protecting Holness? 2, her being punished by the Integrity Commission for not going harder? 3, or a bigger political chess game behind the scenes? Stick around, because we're about to talk resignations, friendships, and weddings next. Do you think she was punished for protecting Holness or pushed out for not going after him hard enough? Drop your theories below in the comments. Let's debate this. The exodus and the shuffle. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, Stephanie Fiddler Blake, the manager in charge of declarations and financial investigation, also resigned abruptly. Why? A fundamental fundamental difference of opinion with colleagues. That's code for I can't work with Uno anymore. So now the two most critical women investigating the PM's declarations are gone. Oh, and guess who replaced Prince-Kameka? Ronif Lawrence, a man whose wedding was attended by none other than, drumroll, PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell. You see the plot twist now? Friendship favors politics positions, all baked in one sweet pudding. But wait, could there be more behind this soft coup? Now let's get into my expert political analysis. Let's take off the tinfoil hats and put on the expert lens. The Integrity Commission is supposed to operate independently, immune from politics. But when two investigators exit under suspicious circumstances, the public is forced to ask. One, was Prince-Kameka pushed out to make room for someone more controllable? Two, did her refusal to charge Holness spark political backlash or internal frustrations? Three, is this a warning shot to other prosecutors inside the Integrity Commission? Step out of line and you're gone. Because if the IC officials can be removed this quietly, who's really protecting integrity? Or has integrity itself become a political weapon? Integrity Commission or political tool? After this drama, do you still trust the IC to be neutral? Comment yes or nah and tell me what sealed your opinion. Let's hear it in the comments. Let's recap the highlights and key takeaways. Prince-Kameka was not told why her contract wasn't renewed. A job ad for her post appeared while she was still employed. She did not recommend charges against Holness. Her replacement has links to PNP's Dayton Campbell. Stephanie Blake also resigned over internal disagreements. Too many coincidences or the blueprint of a quiet political purge. Here's the uncomfortable truth. When prosecutors quietly disappear, it's not always about performance. Sometimes it's about power. And if the Integrity Commission can't protect its own staff from political chess moves, who's watching the watchdog? Leave a comment. Do you think Prince-Kameka was punished or protected someone? Like, share, and subscribe for more breakdowns because the next scandal already bubbling. Why do you think Prince-Kameka was punished? Excellent question. And there's strong circumstantial evidence that points to Prince-Kameka being punished, not protected. Let's break it down patriotic Jamaican style. 1. She didn't charge Holness twice. Prince-Kameka made two separate decisions not to prosecute Prime Minister Andrew Holness. One involving allegations of conflict of interest, the infamous Integrity Commission investigation. Another concerning statutory declarations that were never certified. That means she went against the public's hunger for accountability. She disappointed some people inside the Integrity Commission, especially those who might have wanted stronger action. So was she A, following the law, B, being too cautious, C, protecting someone? Whichever answer you pick, somebody powerful wasn't happy. 2. The timing was surgical. Her contract expired in March, and on March 13, she was told she wouldn't be recommended for reappointment. That same day, the IC wrote the Governor General to make it official. They also quietly posted a job ad for her replacement while she was still in office. Brutal. That's not thanks for your service. That's pack your bags quietly. If it was performance related, wouldn't there be transparency or even a formal statement? Instead, it's dead silence. 3. No reason given. None. Prince-Kameka herself admitted, "I was never told why." When a high-level legal official handling cases involving a sitting prime minister is removed without explanation, red flags start dancing like it's carnival. 4. Replacement has political ties. Her replacement, Ronnie Florence, is linked to PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell, who reportedly attended his wedding. Now that doesn't mean Lawrence is biased, but in a politically charged environment like Jamaica, perception is everything. So this move raises the question, was this a cleanup job to bring in someone more aligned, or worse, was Prince-Kameka too unpredictable to keep? 5. Blake's resignation adds to the fire. Then we have Stephanie Fiddler Blake, who was also abruptly resigned, and her reason, a fundamental difference of opinion with colleagues. That's not random. That sounds like internal war. 2 senior women, 2 key departments, both gone. You really think that's just HR coincidence? Conclusion: Prince-Kameka may have been caught between 2 forces. The expectation to go hard on Holness and the political cost of doing so. By not prosecuting Holness, she either upset the Integrity Commission internally or made herself look weak in a high-stakes game where neutrality can get you fired. Either way, she got ghosted by the system she served. And in Jamaican politics, that smells more like punishment than policy. If you were Prince-Kameka, would you have charged the Prime Minister? Yes, the public deserve answers. No, not enough evidence. Type your answer and let's dissect this in the comments. Listen to this excerpt from Nationwide News Network.
It's a time of change at the Integrity Commission. The creature of Parliament established to pronounce on whether local public officials are operating at the highest ethical standards. But our sources say events over the past several months raises concerns about whether the Commission is doing right by the people working on its behalf. We understand that Keisha Prince-Kameka was informed directly by a senior official at the Integrity Commission during a meeting on March 13 that her contract would not be renewed. The Governor General was reportedly written to quite swiftly, informing him that Prince-Kameka would not be recommended for a second term in the post.
As I predicted in the previous video, me know say the Integrity Commission did go give her a no confidence recommendation to the Governor General as it relates to her contract renewal. She will not be reinstated because them lose confidence in her ability to act in her capacity as Director of Corruption Prosecution. So if me not trust you enough for do your job effectively and correctly, then I will not recommend you for a second term. It really that simple, you know. And she had one job and she actually failed at it miserably. All you did have to do was charge the PM twice, even if you no got jail, but charge the man. So now here we are. You get booted.
It's understood that even after this communication to Sir Patrick Allen, Prince-Kameka was not told why the Commission would not even consider her for a second stint in the role.
So let me get this straight. After you fail for do your job, you expect that then did for consider you for a second stint in the position in a one role and function where you not carry out effectively. Make that make sense. Where them all keep you for? Why would they even renew your contract when you prove to them say you're not deserve for the inner the position? You basically make them have doubts about your integrity. You can't work at the Integrity Commission and you don't have integrity. At the moment, them not sure if them can trust you.
Under the Integrity Commission Act, divisional directors at the Commission are appointed by the Governor General, who acts on the recommendation of the Commission. The newspapers ran an item advertising Prince-Kameka's job while she was effectively still holding down the post at the Integrity Commission. The advertisement, which also listed 4 other posts, set a March 28, 2025 deadline for applications. Sources at the commission tell our news center that the treatment of Prince-Kameka was disappointing, to say the least. In response to our direct question, those sources speculated that she may have paid the price for her decision to not bring charges against the Prime Minister in the 2 matters at the commission.
You don't need glasses to see. Even Ray Charles could have said that's the reason why she got booted. That's the reason why our contract wasn't renewed. So you did expect to drop and fumble a major case like that and still expect to get reinstated for a second term? Why would I renew your contract when you show me gross levels of incompetence? Obviously, you're not good at your job. And if you did good at your job, you would have proved it when you had the chance. But instead, you are paint a different perception. You are make we look on you differently. We are wondering if you were compromised throughout the whole case. Meka, that's why you never charge the PM when you should have charged him. Was Prince-Kameka protecting Andrew Holness? That is a question. That's not a statement. Big question mark me ask. Was she compromised? So me na cast no allegations or accusations on no one. Me just ask questions. The whole Jamaica I ask the same question. We want answers.
The most high profile of those matters concerns Andrew Holness' statutory declarations. Prince-Kameka reportedly proceeded on vacation leave over the remainder of her time in office. Her role is now being performed by Ranif Lawrence. Efforts by our news center to contact her were unsuccessful. PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell, who was a guest at Lawrence's wedding, has previously written on social media about his 20-year-long friendship with the prosecutor.
So now, as you can see, the new Director of Corruption Prosecution has a 20-year friendship with none other than Dayton Campbell. That is something we have got to pay keen and close attention to as time progresses. Because we don't want nobody with that position where, compromise. Because we don't see this man have strong political ties to the PNP via Dayton Campbell. So that is something where we have to pay attention to.
Meanwhile, our sources say Stephanie Fiddler-Blake, the woman who played a key role in the probe into the Prime Minister's statutory declarations, resigned abruptly from the commission. Our sources would only say she left because of a fundamental difference of opinions with key colleagues about aspects of her work.
Stick up in right there, so keynote and pay attention to that. Our colleagues them have an issue with aspects of her work. Key colleagues to be specific. I remember say she and Kameka depend the Holness case together. So what is up? What go on there, so?
Her role, Manager of Declarations and Financial Investigations at the Commission, was advertised alongside Prince-Kameka's old post. Siobhan Campbell for Nationwide News.
What I don't want to happen is that we end up with people working at the Integrity Commission and sabotage and undermine the integrity of the Integrity Commission from within. That we don't want. That we don't need. We don't want nobody to try discredit the name of the Integrity Commission. Had Prince-Kameka charged Holness on the 2 separate occasions, probably that would have led to Holness' resignation as Prime Minister, because there would be no way he wouldn't get charged on 2 separate accounts, and the PMP no seriously call and demand for his resignation with immediate effect. They more demand that Holness step down. That would have been the outcome had Holness been charged charge. And by the looks of it, with these two female being gone and the contract now get renewed, it's obvious that the investigation where Kevin Stevenson did was thorough and it demanded that Holness be charged. Notice how they deal with Prince-Kameka. Them advertise her job, meanwhile she in the position. Meanwhile she still have the role. When they tell her on March 13 say your contract will not be renewed, they immediately send a formal letter to the Governor General notifying him that her contract would not be renewed. So that's how serious the matter is. And the Integrity Commission is a statutory body where people need to take serious. We need to know say them take corruption serious, them take political corruption serious. It no matter if you're Prime Minister or you're the opposition leader. It no matter what position you hold in a parliament. You forget charge if you forget charge. It's that simple. So this is where people have to learn to put Jamaica first over party colors. Because you can't say you want the best for Jamaica, but when your favorite politician do something wrong, you defend him or you're protecting corruption or you want to run where everybody will have a difference in opinion. The Integrity Commission losing two top women. Coincidence or calculated political cleansing? Reply with coincidence or cover up and tell me why in the comments.